Alright, so let's talk about using scanner with the delimiter. Alright, what is the delimiter, right? What is scanner? We learned scanner in 1.2.
Yeah, scanner.
We can read in, right, the input from the user. Now, what is the delimiter? First, when you read input from the user, how do you do that?
Keyboard. Like define the scanner.
You do keyboard. If your object is the keyboard, right?
Yeah.
Dot what?
It's like in.
Dot next for the string. Dot next infinite. In sure. So how would they know that that's the end of string? Like, let's look at the scanner class. By looking at Javadoc again, we learned Javadoc, correct? Now Javadoc is very, very important.
I tried to generate the Java doc, but it says the package name running on the package code.
All right, so we're looking at next. This is next return string, right? So let's read this again. Find return the next complete token from this scanner. A complete token is preceded and followed by input that matches the delimiter pattern. There you go. That's a delimiter word again here, right? This method may block while waiting for input to scan. Okay. So it said a complete token is preceded and followed by input that matches the delimiter pattern. Alright, let's try to use next again. I'm going to do something on my IntelliJ here. So this time, what do? We're going to use the scanner. Okay, we're going to use next again. And we try to understand what does it mean delimiter here, right? Let me create a new project. And this is going to be a Java project. And this is the library that we want to link. Let me use version 9. So I'm going to talk about scanner delimiter. Alright, so we got a new project. We're going to create a new class. So let's name delimiter demo. Again, when you learn something, is it always easier or always harder? It's always getting harder, everything that you start to learn, right? In real life, right? Just like whenever you're grown up, it's going to get harder and harder in your life. You know that, right? So I try to say this because it's going to get harder. If you don't pay attention, go and make sure subscribe to my channel and look at it again. Watch it.
Watch on your like favorites.
All right, so
Give a rating of 5.
because it's going to get harder, okay? It's going to get harder. I'm trying to tell you. All right. Public statics. Why main string error? Yes. We understand this already. How do you scan it again? Like some of you may just want to say keyboard according to textbook, right? They use keyboard. Then this time I use keyboard. Like sometimes the SC according to Javadoc use SC stand for scanner, right? So in IntelliJ you can write import or you can do Alt enter. It's going to import for you. Okay, so we go to write a program, say enter name, right? This is pretty much your 1.2. And how do we read in? We need to know the data type is string, right? We create variables name. And how do we read in again? We say keyboard dot next is return string. Then you store information in the name, right? And then let's see if I want to print out. I can say hello. And we call concatenating pretty much as appending the variables to your text hello. Then we can greet the user, correct? But we want to focus on the keyword delimiter, okay? My question is, what is my delimiter here? Alright, so I'm going to type in my name, right? It's probably enter the name. I'm going to try in and space my last name. What's the delimiter here?
The what?
Delimiter?
Take out the last name. Or the space.
We talk about delimiter, right? Delimiter. What is the delimiter? That's what. There was a question right earlier. We talked about this class. We want to focus on scanner class with delimiter, and one of my students had, what is delimiter? I have the same question to you. What is delimiter here? What is delimiter here? What is delimiter? Delimit to read space, because you see it's not going to read the whole name. It's only see the space as the delimiter. That's why I stop to read and store only tennis in the variable's name. That is the delimiter. Like for example, if I want to set my delimiter to be like, hey, read until you see the letter I, can I do that? Okay. How do we set it? So, of course, like I said, Java Scanner has everything that you need. Let's see if I do set. Let's read Java. I want to set the delimiter on the scanner, right? Here you go. This has used delimiter, right? They have something about delimiter here. So the scanner can also use delimiters other than white space. There you go. It was a white space by default, right? This example reads several items in form a string. Like a string can be one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. But I want to use delimiter. So that's how you're going to change that, right? Use delimiter meaning this is how you create a pattern. And when it read, it say its next int is going to read number 1. Next int is going to read number 2 because int is read the integers. It looks like it's limit to whenever you see fish, it stop to read. See that? Fish, fish, and fish. Fish, the word fish becomes the delimiter. That's why you only have 1, 2, red, and blue. Alright, how would I do the same if I want to say I is my delimiter? If we want to say the same, we say dot use, right? Delimiter. You can make a pattern or you can make just a string. That's the argument here, right? Pattern, this is called a pattern or this is called a string. Like in a quoted double quote is a string, right? So used delimiter I. Okay, let's try. Run this again. With string, I have to do double quote. So the character I could be a string when I put in double quote, right? Voila. So we just change our delimiter.
There's no I
Because I is my delimiter.
So how would you go about like setting it so that you get the whole like is it possible to set the delimiter so that you can capture like everything?
Then you have to make something to limit it. But if you try that, actually we have next line. It read until the delimiter is the end of line. Like when you hit enter, that's the end of line, right? It's not only you don't have to set the delimiter, but because your question like ask me how to do that, pretty much use next line, that's the answer. Because next line they use the delimiter as a end of line. Right. To answer that, you don't really need to use the delimiter for that part. Next line like read until the end of the line. Questions? He tried to ask question. No, he. You have questions?
This is like last time more, but what do you know with the number? When does the computer know the letter?
When do you know it's going to be a number? When it is a number, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like human age.
Like last words, it was like you have like a, I think for your password is like number and username.
Right, password is not a number. But you include a number in the password. But password is a string. You just combine number to make your password, right?
So I remember I was talking to someone, I don't know who it was, and they set it like the scanner as an integer, it's like what was supposed to take in the they said the string name, they had name instead of
Like if I want to read the student score, should student score be a string or a number? Scores, integer. Oh, double, right? Because it could be 0.5, right? We talk about data type now, right? So, okay, how many data types that you have learned so far? How many? That's one primitive data type. What are those? Java primitive data type. Right? Integer, int, double, boolean, float, what else? Long, short, bit, right? Byte, correct? I think bit is pretty much just the boolean, right? Like index, like for example, we talk about human age. Human age can be short too.
What's short?
Then, did you read the book? When you ask me what's short, that means you didn't read the book. What's short?
The book gives the range, actually.
Right. We go back to introduction 1.1. What is introduction 1.1? You guys do remember? Bit and bytes, right? Remember this whole thing turned to be computer language. So you want to represent the data and you want to store the data into the hardware, right? That's what the point is, right? So the data is unlimited, right? But the hardware is limited, right? You try to store the unlimited in the limit world, right? Like for example, numbers. Human age has the limit. Who is the oldest in the world? How old is he? Oldest person in the world. Oldest person in the world. Do you guys know that?
Damn, imagine being the oldest man in the world and just being like, look, I'm older than everybody, you know? That's crazy.
So, what is the age of the oldest person in the world?
Let's see. 164. Oh.
120 years and 164 days.
Yo, I met
Jean
this lady that was
Comet.
165, dude. She was like in a village in Afghanistan, bro. Like, I don't think Guinness Book of World Records would go like that.
From
deep in,
France.
Like, trying to find her.
Is she immortal?
No, she's dead now.
That's
It was
her.
like 3 years ago. No, but like, she was like 165.
Alright,
bro.
so we know that it's 121, right?
Yeah.
She was just like.
How many bits do we need? 8? Well, how many bits do we need for 121?
Oh, well, I think
This is for your test, right?
7.
Did you pay attention?
not every.
Maybe you have to subscribe to my channel and watch it.
So 120 divided by 2, 8.
Alright.
3 numbers. So that's 8.
The question is, who is the oldest? What's the age of the oldest person in the world? And we got about 121, right? Now, how many bits do we need to represent that? About 7 bits. Correct? So, now we learn in introduction 1.1. We always get to what? 1 character is represented by 8 bit. We call 1 byte. So we gonna need 1 byte, right? Then age actually should be byte. Because you're not going to represent more than 121.
Then
But by the way, first byte has how many bits? 8 bits. 8 bits, that means you can represent up to 0 to 255. Because 2 to the 8 is 256. Correct? This is talking about the positive, right? How about if I talk about negative numbers? If I wanted to represent negative, then it's going to be between minus 127 to, no, minus 128 to 127, correct? Yes? Right, if we talk about negative, right? Half of that, you're right. So, technically, if data type is byte, you could represent the number between minus 28 to 127, which is a good data type for age, human age, right? You see that you have to pick the data type to represent your data that you manipulating with. Okay?
But it can also be integer, right?
It could, but what happened if I got iPhone? What are the memories that you pay for?
128.
128. How much you pay for?
Like, it was like 900.
Okay. If I get like less than 128, 64.
Should probably be like 800, 700.
If I get like 32.
Like 600.
So memory is what expensive. Memory is expensive, and programmer tried to. Why don't I just use int? How many bits is int? If you read the book,
No, not.
how many bits is the int?
Then if you use bytes, our program
One
is
was 8
a little less.
No. I didn't ask you that. I asked you how many bits is the int. You're not answering me. You try to share the topic. Alright. How many bits?
32.
Okay, so 32 bits, okay? See that if you want to have human age using int as data type, how many spaces that you wasting? 3 times, wow. 4 times, right? Because 8 4 is 32.
Yeah.
You wasting like for one human that you want to record the age. Like let's say I want to use this program for my students in Nova, and we have 100,000 students
Damn.
per year, and we've been here like 100 years.
That's crazy.
So we wasting how many spaces? Do your math. That's why you try to delete that apps that take too much spaces, right?
Yeah.
Because we have developer like you who want to use in for the age. And that app will not be efficient. Now we look at the memory level. Make sense? Okay. I mean, I didn't try to impress anyone. This is just showing example, okay? So don't take that into account. But I still love you after the class. Question? Question is good. Keep asking, right? That's how we learn.
So like using like if when you're coding, it's more than just like coding. You have to make sure you like even if it's a number, you have to make sure you use the right kind of number because like you makes it more efficient at the end. Like if you use byte, like instead of
In the old time, programmer has to be worried about this because memory is so expensive and we have small memories. Remember?
Oh.
But nowadays, programmer tend not to worry about it because memory is a lot cheaper. But in the phone memory, you still see that it's still more expensive. Because who make it expensive? Apple. Right?
Yeah, I just want to take your money. Yo, we should all like combine our heads and like make an app and then cash out.
Mm-hmm.
All of us like combine and then we can all cash out as a class. You feel me?
Mm.
And pay off our tuition. You feel me?
All right. You tried to ask something, right? No. Did you try to say something? All right. Now we start to learn data type, right? What is the size? Like now, what is the number ranging that you can represent when you use int? Is it a range? They talk about the negative and positive, right? So let's look at it again. If I want to do exponents, 2 to 8 give you 256, right? So if I want to do exponents, it's going to be what? Negative 2 to the 7. Is that correct? To positive 2 to the 7 minus 1. Because 2 to the 7 give you 128, right? 128 minus 1, you get 127 because 0, right? Then minus 2 to the 7 give you minus 128. So same thing, 32 bits. Can you tell me the range?
negative
2 to the 31, right? 2 to the 31 minus 1. That's pretty much the range of the number. Which is, if you want to know exact what is that, then calculator. Right. What's 2 to the 31? I may need a scientific calculator. 2 to the 31 should be
What?
2 million something. 2 billion, right? All right, good. now, double is 64 bits. So whatever you want to represent, you know that you have to get that bigger range. But double is for decimal numbers. Double 64-bit. Decimal we were talking about with the dot, decimal points, and the number after that, right? Like in scientific calculation, you talk about 0.0000123 and so on. So that's why we need that. And we call floating points. Like float is pretty much the same thing, but smaller range of the decimal places after decimal point. And we use 32-bit. Okay? Now long. Long is 64 for the integer. Just like int for the whole number, right? But you can even make it bigger than this range, right? That we've seen. Okay? Short is 16. So this you should remember that. Okay? It's very common. It's because it's always 8, 16, 32, 64. And we have 64-bit architecture. That's it. That's the max to go, right? Boolean is 1 bit. Like either true or false, which is 0 or 1. Right. 1 bit. Yes and no. Alright, so those are the data type in Java. You want to have question for me? You were raising hand. Do you have question for me?
I have a question about Delimiter.
Okay, that's pretty much your class exercise, right? So we've seen the delimiter how it works. You can review this more videos, right? So this is just showing the delimiter, like I just showed you, and this is you can also read from a text instead of read from the keyboard. Like now you enter things from keyboard, right? You can actually scanner. You can do system in is read from keyboard, but you can switch it to read from file by using this new file. See that? And then you have the file, which is text file that you save, put in the same location. It's gonna read in the content from the file. Okay. So, and your class exercise pretty much. I'm going to show you in the video, show you how to use remember we can use string or pattern, right? So this is a pattern. So the hard part is this one, the regular expression. You have to know what is that, we call regex. Just like this guy tried to show you in the scanner, this is the regex, regular expressions. Here, these are the regex. Right, it's a little complicated, but it is not. If you just, like look at regex and look at tutorial. Just read through that. So I want you to read regex tutorial. So besides chapter 3, I want you to read this first for the assignment. It's gonna show you what does it mean. It's just a symbol like matching any characters, like any alphabets and numbers from 1 to 7. That is just a pattern that you want to match. So read through that and you learn like /d mean any numbers 0 to 9. Okay, like you can delimit 2 when you see the number. Just do /d. Like that. Like quick example. Like I could delimit this right by use delimiter, and I could make it /d, right? But make sure this is a pattern. So you do slash slash. This is called escape. Yeah. Now it's going to limit by the number. So if I type any number that's between 1 to 9. Oh, I use next line, right? I have to use next, right? Remember, next line is read the whole line, right? Then it's going to delimit by the number. So let's do that. See that? And this is called regex. Alright, so I think what is that you need to do is write an application to find an average of 10 number from user input. And then you can delimit by comma. Like user enter 1, comma 2, comma 3, so on up to 10, comma. It read in all the number, add them up, and divide by 10. That's it. Okay?
Excuse me, sir.